you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my Q1 homeschooling update for you guys. So I am just gonna sit down and chat with you guys about how the first quarter of this homeschool year went. So if you are new to my channel, I would love to have you stick around and subscribe. I put out these updates 4 times a year, one for each quarter, and then I usually do an update at the end of the homeschool year, kind of a recap. I've been doing these for a few years actually, so it's like so crazy to sit down and do another Q1 update because I just get such a sense of accomplishment as we progress through our school year. So I am here to share all the things homeschool with you. So if you like listening to me chit chat with you and you find that encouraging, then this will be a great video for you. I'm warning you, this is going to be long-winded. It's just how I am, and I'm not apologizing for it anymore. If that is not something you enjoy and you enjoy more concise updates on things like bullet points, then you'll want to go ahead and not watch this video because I'm going to chat with you guys. So go ahead and grab your coffee or your tea. I stopped at Starbucks. I'm drinking a venti iced Americano with 1 pump of the pumpkin sauce and light half and half. So not super high in sugar, not super high in calories, and will give you the kick you need to get through your day. So the first thing that I want to say in this Q1 update is this is the most relaxed I've ever been when it comes to school. And by relaxed, I don't mean that we're not doing what we should be doing, but I just feel very relaxed this year. I just don't even know how to describe like exactly what I'm saying. I just know that I don't feel tremendous stress and pressure like I have in past years. That is totally put on by me. No one else. I put it on myself. For whatever reason, this year I'm doing a really good job at not doing that to myself, and I'm enjoying it. I mean, maybe in the next quarters I'll feel stressed out or like I need to, I don't know, but I just am feeling pretty relaxed this year. So you guys might catch on to that as I share with you this update. I did make notes right down here to keep me to the point a little bit, but I still will talk a lot because that's just what I do. Okay, so the first thing to touch on is that this is our first homeschool quarter. It's our new homeschool year. Obviously, we finished Q1 and we moved into our new house back in May. So this was the first time that we were starting a school year, obviously, in our new house. And the reason why that's kind of important is because in the house that we sold, our school space was downstairs on the main living area. In our rental that we were in for a couple of months, I was schooling at the kitchen table, which is what I used to do. And so then when we moved here, we made our school space in our loft area, which is upstairs. And I had tried that in my loft of my old house the very first year that I homeschooled my kids, and it was not good for us. And that's why we moved downstairs into what was our formal dining area, and that worked a lot better. So I was a little hesitant about having the school space be upstairs, but in the house that we bought, that was just where it basically had to be. Of course, I could do it at the kitchen table, and that was my backup plan, was to just store everything in the loft, and then if it wasn't working well, then just like get a little cart and then do school downstairs, but like keep all the stuff upstairs, if that makes sense. Well, I think it's because my kids are older and school, we only do the independent work upstairs. So we do our science and our history and our Bible time and our morning basket and our read aloud all downstairs, like on the couch or the dining room table. And then when it's time for them to work on their specific grade level stuff, they go upstairs. And it's been working really great. No complaints. I think it's a nice change of scenery, and I just think that it's working out really well for us. So I'm really happy to report that. I also have been loving my schoolroom. I feel like I I have everything I need organized and at my fingertips, and it just allows for a smooth flow because the kids know where stuff is, and it's just been working out really good. So I'm happy to report that the new school space in the new house is working great. The next thing to talk about is that in quarter one, we finished 1 unit of history with the good and the beautiful, and we finished 1 science unit. Now you might be thinking, there's like 13 lessons in science and there's about 13 history lessons. So that's only doing it like 1 time a week, you know, if you averaged it out. But I did that on purpose. And the reason why is because last year we had history done, history year 1, almost an entire quarter before we were finished with the other subjects. And that's because we love the history. So we just were doing 2 or 3 lessons a week, and we just went through it too quickly. So, I mean, of course you could do that, but I didn't want to do that again. So I have slowed it down, and I think that's also part of this new relaxed Ashlee. And it's no big deal. So my goal for us is that each quarter we would finish 1 unit of history and 1 science unit. And so far that's working really well. Last year, I think I shared with you guys that I do history and science in opposition. This year I've changed that, and we are doing them at the same time. And the reason is because we're taking history a lot slower, and so I have more days to dedicate to science. So I still don't do history and science on the same school day, like both on a Wednesday. I'll do like history Monday and Wednesday, and then I'll do science Tuesday and Thursday. That's kind of what our schedule's been, and it's been working really good. We went on a couple of field trips this quarter. And by field trips, I truly mean like just being intentional about going and doing things that relate to our school. We went to, we got a behind the scenes tour at an aquarium by a marine biologist that my husband, we have a contact with his sister, and so they were able to set that up. So I was really thankful that my husband did that because he knows that we've been studying marine biology. So we went there. We also went to the National Weather Center, which was very cool. I've never been there, so that was a cool experience and field trip. We have done a few other field trips that I cannot recall at the present moment. Oh, we went to the a dolphin exhibit because we're doing marine biology again, and so that was really fun. And what else did we do? There's one other thing. I'm drawing a blank, but we've done some fun field trips. I've also been taking my kids to the library like every other week, and they love that. And so we've just been going to the library. When we go to the library, they check out whatever they want to check out. Of course, I make sure it's appropriate, but like they read a lot of like comic style books and things like that, and I just let them choose whatever they want, and they read. That's totally their interest led learning happens. And after we go to the library, it is so quiet in my house for like 2 days because they just are reading, devouring up whatever they checked out. So I used to only go to the library maybe once a month, and we would just check out a ton of books, but I found that going more often is something that everyone's enjoying, and so we've been doing that a lot too. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is my daughter's Spanish curriculum. And sorry, my dogs are barking and I'm not stopping recording to go down there and deal with that. So just ignore them for a minute. The Spanish curriculum, I get a lot of questions because she's in 7th grade, and so she chose an elective this year and she chose Spanish. We are not following a curriculum. I'm just basically wanting to expose her to the Spanish language. I do not think she's going to be fluent this year. If that's something that she wants to pursue continually, then we'll do that. But this year it's just an exposure. So I found a really good workbook at Barnes & Noble, and then she's also using Duolingo, and then we're also checking out books, and I bought some books that are in Spanish. And so basically we started with the alphabet, we started with pronunciation, and now she's just learning words and kind of like verb tenses. That's kind of what we're working on now. And so that's just how we're doing it. I'm sure I'm doing it all wrong, but it's working for us right now with Spanish. So the next thing that I wanted to touch on was that I've also been implementing service into our school as a whole, and we went to the Ronald McDonald House and we made and prepared dinner there, and we're gonna continue to work with them throughout this entire school year. I've got some future opportunities lined up for us. This is really the first year that we've stuck to serving one thing, and I'm just really excited to be able to serve with my kids because a lot of places have age restrictions, and I still do have a 7-year-old, but they've been great, and it was wonderful for my mom heart to see my kids serving other people. So I would encourage you guys, if you're not doing that, look for an opportunity because it will really bless you and your homeschool. Another thing that I wanted to mention to you guys in this update is that at the beginning of the homeschool year, I shared that I was going to try to get my workouts done first thing in the morning. And while I still do that about half of the week, the other half of the week I am working out in the afternoon because sometimes I just wake up and we want to start school. And so I'm really trying to listen to those natural rhythms of our family and you know, some days that means I'm working out at night, and I really tried to get away from doing that because I don't like feeling like I'm giving myself my leftover energy, which is not much on some days. But at the same time, I do have to be flexible with that and remember that it's just, as long as it's happening every day, it's okay. And to not be so hard on myself if maybe I'm feeling a little tired and I couldn't go quite as hard as I would want to, or whatever. So I'm being flexible with my workouts again. And when I was trying to be very rigorous about doing it at the same time every single day, it was actually giving me some anxiety. And so being more relaxed with that, but still keeping it a priority that it does have to happen every day, but being more flexible in the time has really been helpful to me. Another thing that I've started doing this homeschool year that I wanted to update you guys on in this Q1 update is my poetry tea time. I get asked all the time, how do you do that? So here's how I do it. I go to the library and I check out some poetry books, and then all the kids that come bring a poem to share as well. I pick out a themed snack and serve apple cider. That's what it's been because we started in the fall, but it'll soon transition to hot chocolate. And we all go around and we share a poem, and then I read some poems with them, and then maybe we do like a small craft at the table. I set up the table kind of cute, and we just make it a priority to read some poetry together, and it lasts about an hour and a half. It is nothing tremendously fancy, but it's been a lot of fun, and my kids really look forward to it, and it has sparked a new creative energy in them that they all want to write their own poems to share at the tea time, and so I'm loving that. So that's been really fun, and I invite my friends, 2 of my friends who also homeschool, over to participate in that with us. We're getting ready to do our Halloween one, and so the kids are going to wear their costumes, and I think it's going to be a really fun time. So that has been a great addition to my homeschool this year because, as you guys know, we're not a part of a co-op or a organized group. The other thing that I wanted to touch on, and kind of the last thing that I wanted to touch on with this, kind of goes with like routine and our schedule, is that when I first started homeschooling, my kids were younger, of course, and so we were able to start school much earlier in the day during those times because my kids were going to bed earlier. We have entered into a new season now where my kids have activities and things at night that are a priority to our family that are going later, and my kids' bedtime has kind of moved from 8 o'clock on the dot to by 9 o'clock. And because of that, and because my kids are entering the teenage years, well, 2 of them, they need more sleep. Otherwise, they're miserable human beings. And so with that, we have been starting school later. And because we start school later, we finish later. And at first I was really missing having the afternoons, like where we could get things done and whatnot, but there really is just no way for me to change it. It's not like I'm letting them stay up until midnight and then they're just exhausted. It truly is their sports, and then they have to shower, and then, you know, they're just going to bed a little bit later, but I also think they need more sleep right now. So instead of stressing out about that, I am okay if we start school at 10 o'clock. I really try to not go past that. And my kids are not sleeping until 10 o'clock, but just like by the time we have breakfast and we do our chores, our morning chores, and I get a little bit of work done and all that stuff, feed the dogs, let the dogs outside, make all the beds, start the laundry, it's about 10 o'clock. And so our school days are pretty much taking up my entire day. I do not have any free time in my day anymore, and that has been a little bit challenging to try to figure out when I'm gonna do stuff that I would ordinarily do, but I'm rolling with it because I'm relaxed this year. I'm relaxed because I have to be, I think. But really, sometimes the way you start homeschooling isn't gonna be the way that it looks forever, because your kids change, your homeschool changes, your kids' ages change, life changes, and you have to adapt to that. So that's what's going on with that. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is, in doing that, in knowing that I'm pretty much unavailable Tuesday through Friday for the entire day, I have not scheduled anything on those days. Like I don't schedule a meetup in the middle of the day, or I don't put, you know, an errand in the middle of the day. And so when we are very efficient, or when, you know, school goes through quickly, we have a lot more white space on our calendar where they can have free time and do whatever they want to do, because I am just expecting that school take that entire day. And that white space has been a major blessing this year, for my kids and for myself. And so I've just started scheduling less things because we're able to do less things on school days, and it's worked out really good. Even on the days when we finish school, you know, I have more time to do other things, but just not out of the home. So the white space as my kids get older on the calendar is becoming more and more important, and I think having that is also contributing to me being more relaxed, which is making for a more joyful experience for everyone. So that is what I wanted to share on that. And everything else is going really well. The kids are all loving their levels with the good and the beautiful. My daughter pushed through some difficult weeks with math, and we're making progress there, and that's going really well. We've been doing a lot of like little crafts and little experiments with our history and our science, and so that has been really fun. So all in all, Q1 was really good. It took us a few weeks to get into a rhythm and a routine, but I feel like we finally are there, and I'm excited about Q2, which is going to go through the holiday season, which is obviously my favorite time of year. But I'm just excited about all of the fun things that getting to learn with my kids side by side through those seasons brings. I like to do a lot of baking with them. I like to go do a lot of different things. I like to do crafts. I like to do all just different things with them. Parties that I'll throw or my friends will throw, and so we just try to make it fun for them. So that is really it for this Q1 update. If you have any questions for me about my homeschool or the Q1, I'll be happy to answer them down in the comments below, so leave them there. And if you enjoy these quarter updates and you want me to continue this year, give me a thumbs up and let me know that, because I do check the thumbs up on the videos when I ask them. They are a free way to help support my channel as well, and so I really appreciate it when you guys give me a thumbs up. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you're encouraged. Let me know how your Q1 went, and I will see you guys in my next video really soon. Bye guys.